Comics Covered. It's a show. It's this show. For the week of June 20, 2018, episode 31. Here on that show, said show, mentioned show, we talk about the comic books and the world around them. Mm-hmm. We'll talk spoilers. We'll swear. We'll warn you about the spoilers. I'm Jack. I'm new. Hello. And I'm here. Oh, I don't know much about comics. I'm here with my co-host, Doug, who's been weirdly silent this entire time through my...
I gave a note of like
validation,
appreciation. Yeah, like just kind of letting you know that, like, yeah, you're doing okay.
Okay. It's very punctuated the way I'm talking right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this sounds like an old-timey radio serial. Like you're telling the exploits of like a PI or something.
Oh, I like that. I mean, Henning That Cheers has been around for a long time, so I can feel that.
All right. Yes.
I figured I'd also change this up because I don't think we needed to say that we talk about comic books, movies, games, TV. Do we? Anymore?
What? Like we just don't do it anymore?
No, we just don't say that in the beginning anymore. Like, doesn't everybody know? Or I guess not really. No.
What if someone jumps into this new episode?
I guess so.
This is a conversation for off the show. I'm Doug. I'm Jack's co-host here. I am here. And I have been reading comics a little bit longer than Jim.
A bit longer? I haven't even read as long as you've read before I started reading. You know what I mean?
A few years. But I, for example, know a character that Jack might not know that I did not write down on the rundown for him.
I'm excited. Here we go. What if it's something I know?
Okay, so this character is Count Vertigo.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Okay. Well, you're gonna do your pointed questions, right?
Mm-hmm. So okay. I'm gonna ask Jack a series of questions here, and he's going to give me some answers. And he will face the death penalty if he is wrong.
Oh dear.
So Jack, I'm just gonna give it to you this week. This is a Big Two character. Do you think this is a Marvel character or a DC character?
DC.
You are correct. It is a DC character. So this character.
Can you ask me what imprint he is a part of?
I mean,
is it obvious?
I mean, it's DC. Like, it's just the normal.
Oh, he's not part of Vertigo?
No, that would be funny.
I thought that was the whole idea, like Captain Marvel.
No, I did not. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, I guess that could be a thing. It's a little silly for Vertigo.
Very silly, but Vertigo is also like more indie style, creator-owned style. So
sure, yeah. Count Vertigo is a character with a very specific set of powers.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Does he give people vertigo?
He does.
Oh dear.
He makes people sick. He makes them feel dizzy.
He must really hate Liza Minnelli in Arrested Development.
No, he's causing her constant vertigo at all times.
That's terrible.
He has a hereditary ear defect that affects his sense of balance, and he had a small electronic device implanted into him that enabled him to compensate for that, and he altered that and allowed him to affect other people's balance.
Oh, like it's like a radio wave kind of thing?
It's sort of, yeah. It's like it's a wave that he sends out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Does he still have vertigo, though?
No, because his device allowed him to fix it.
That doesn't make any sense, I don't think.
Don't worry about it. And do you think this is a hero or a villain character?
Definitely a villain.
Yes, it is a
Is
villain.
this... What year is this? Actually, no, don't tell me. Is this like around like 1960s?
Let's see. First appearance. I'm going to go... We're going to do a game of higher or lower here. I'm going to say higher. Or later, I guess. Later, earlier.
You can do higher or lower. I mean, 1970 is a higher number than 1960.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so higher.
Than 1960?
Yes.
Okay, 1980.
Lower.
1975.
Higher.
1978. This is a
It's
dumb
1978.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yep. So yeah, he's late 70s, bordering on the 80s. He's a villain who's been he's been on the Suicide Squad before.
Oh.
He's a character who's not necessarily always evil. He's a character like a Doctor Doom or a Black Adam, who's he's the ruler of a small nation.
Oh, wait, what? Count Vertigo is a leader of a small nation?
Yeah, or an area or something. What is he? Where is he? The Vlatava.
Is it on
It's
a
the
mountain?
country. It's the country Vlatava.
Vlatava. Why is he the leader of a small... how does having Vertigo powers allow you to amass that much power?
You make a lot of people sick if they don't make you the mayor of their town, you just keep doing that until you're the mayor of all the towns, and then you're the country mayor.
That doesn't compute. What, is he showing up recently, or is he out of power, out of popularity?
No, he's he shows up every here and there. I don't think he's not a huge character, but he was just in the Suicide Squad animated movie that they came out with a little bit ago.
Did you watch that?
I did watch it. I didn't know how I felt about it.
Okay.
It was for some reason R-rated, and the story was actually pretty okay, but they really wanted to let you know that it was an R-rated movie.
Oh, really?
And so this animated DC movie had extended sequences in a male strip club.
Oh.
And
do they hang dong?
No, but it was weird.
Huh. That is weird. Wait, so it had the, I'm gonna say this is a specific term now. It got the Logan treatment.
It was a little more pronounced, I feel than Logan.
Oh, really?
Maybe not on the violence part of it, but they were really raunchy in a way that felt really forced. But the story was okay. I don't know that I'd
Did Batgirl end up having sex with Batman?
Funnily enough, not even a character in the movie somehow still ended up having sex with Batman.
Oh, wow.
God, that was stupid.
So sad. Samantha just read Killing Joke, and then I told her about that, and she's like, ugh.
It's half the movie is this Batgirl stuff, and I get it. They wanna that stuff that they did with Batgirl and with her in Killing Joke is weird and hasn't aged well, honestly.
Yeah.
But they added a whole half the story that is just her running around doing stuff completely unrelated to anything.
Yeah.
And then she has sex with Batman for some reason.
I mean,
it was so weird.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I haven't even watched, have you seen that whole movie, or did you just...
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I watched it in a theater for some reason.
That's weird. Wasn't it straight to DVD?
Sometimes they do, they'll do, for one day, we put it in theaters or whatever, for, their bigger ones.
So you paid money to see it?
I did. I paid money. I would have paid money to see it regardless. I'm not a thief, Jack. But, yeah, I paid to watch that in a theater. The theater was full.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
you've stolen my heart, Doug. So you are a thief.
Yeah, I didn't pay for that.
Okay.
Wouldn't have paid for that.
Well, in any case, Doug, I like Captain Vertigo. I think he's a wonderful man, and
Vertigo, please address him with the proper amount of respect and stature that he deserves.
Count Vertigo. Is that it? I don't know how to address someone with stature. What?
I'm just saying, you called him a captain.
Okay, I keep saying that because I thought of Captain Marvel when I first heard it. I literally kept forgetting. So
I like the idea that this is a Captain Marvel style character, but he's for Vertigo.
I think that's great.
He's Captain Vertigo.
In any case, wait. You never gave me a picture of this guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Here, I'll look him up.
Here you go.
Oh, you're okay.
Wait, no. Did I do it wrong?
You usually do.
I think.
I'm following the link no matter what.
Time for it to go. The picture at the top is weird. That's not normally how he looks.
Oh, it's like a weird new version.
Yeah, that's some weird reboot of him. But the second picture in his bio section is more what he traditionally looks like.
Oh, I see him. He looks pretty cool. I like it. He's got like a Spectre kind of vibe.
Look. Yeah, he's got a spiral motif, black and green costume. He's got a cool look. He shows up in the John Ostrander's Spectre run.
Oh, did you hear what I just said?
Yeah,
I literally.
That's what prompted.
Oh wow, that's crazy though. Because like, is he specifically made to look like that because he showed up there?
No, because he's a pre-existing character, but he, okay. He has a fairly major part in the second arc of that book.
Okay, I'm so excited to read that at some point, but I'm gonna do it.
It's great.
I'm gonna do it later. I have a lot to do. Okay,
Jack, how was
No. How's your week, Doug?
Okay, got the tables turned on me there. My week was fantastic. I got my Comic-Con badge this week. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so pumped.
It came in the mail. It came in a little box,
a
little orange box. It's got I got badges for Friday and Saturday, and they sent me a little pin.
Wow,
it's great.
That's awesome. That's gonna be great. I just saw. Because Donny Cates, like everyone's gonna be there.
It's so great. All the major creators are probably going to be there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I'm excited.
My because like Samantha used to go to Comic-Con every single year, and she was never into comics. So now she's like looking back and been like, all these people were probably there, and I was just like, whatever, you know. She like walk past all the art, and be like, oh, I guess that looks cool. Whatever.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah, that's always my struggle whenever I go to cons is always that like my friends that I go with are not, they're into comics, but they're like, they don't read comics currently and they're not like super knowledgeable about like creators or anything, you know?
Interesting. Oh, wait, so at Comic-Con, do they usually like announce things that are exciting like at like E3 for video games, or is it like kind of different? Is it more of a showcase?
Stuff gets announced. Like comic stuff will get announced there. Some like comic movie related stuff. But it's not like as big on announcements as like an E3, but like there definitely will be like comic book and comic movie related announcements coming out of Comic-Con.
Okay.
Plus lots of other weird entertainment stuff that you'll be like, why was that at Comic-Con?
Like lolly stuff?
Like what?
Do you know what lolly is? Or
I do not know what that is.
It's like or maybe that's a abbreviation. Lolly is like this culture where people are obsessed with dressing up like teenage girls from anime. And they very much specifically say it is not sexual in any case, but apparently it totally is. So yeah, that's a whole thing. I learned about that because Sam and I listened to a podcast about like true crime called Sword and Scale. It's awesome. And they were talking about pedophilia and like how it's viewed in society and stuff like that. And this film that some guy wrote that was seemingly apologetic for pedophilia and talks about lollies. So yeah. That's a little tidbit of information.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wonderful. I'm so improved for knowing about that.
Yes. Do you have a waifu, Doug?
I'm not clear on the meaning of that, and I'm going to say no.
Are you serious? You don't know what a waifu is?
I've heard that word a million times. I don't specifically know what it means.
You know in Archer, the electronic wife that the guy has?
Yes.
Who's like anime? That's a waifu.
Mm-hmm. But what does that mean?
It's a wife who's on the internet, who's a virtual wife.
Okay. So it's a fake internet wife.
Yeah. It's Ryan Gosling's Joy in Blade Runner.
Ah.
That's a waifu, basically. It's a futuristic
like a very
waifu.
Advanced waifu.
It's a very advanced waifu, yes.
Mm-hmm. Anything new with you this week?
What is new with me? I I mean, I'm reading okay, here we go. Here's a non-comics reading thing that I'm doing. So I'm going to start phasing out reading comics at work because I don't get to focus enough on it, I don't think. And I am going to instead start reading my non-comics books that I have, which right now is American Gods. So that's awesome. Reading that right now. And they're also coming out with a comic for that right now. So I figured I should have done that, but I don't really care. I'd rather read it in its original form.
I'm unclear because I feel like they've done a couple comics related or comics things related to, American Gods. I'm not clear if they're like just set in the universe or if they're adaptations of some kind. I'm not 100% sure.
I thought it was an adaptation of just the book, but maybe not. I don't know. Because
I think there has been a comic adaptation of the book, but then I think one of the ones that's coming out currently or has come out recently or something had like a subtitle on it that made it sound like it was like something additional. So I'm not sure.
Huh.
But
okay.
Yeah.
But I'm reading that. And then my next book is the Super Gods by Grant Morrison book, which I'm super excited for. You've read that, you said?
Fun book. Yeah, it's great. Great book. I'm not usually like a nonfiction guy, but like I'm just so fascinated with him as a creator. I'd like to read more books by comics people like that.
Yeah.
I think it's
Neil Gaiman has like a fuck ton apparently.
Oh yeah, he's a big novelist. But
so yeah,
the Grant Morrison's Super Gods is a fantastic book.
Yeah, I'm excited. In any case, Doug, let's move ourselves into news. Starting off with movie news, we have an exciting thing. Disney, with all their money, has raised their full cash bid of $70.3 billion. So technically,
the original bid was in shares, apparently.
Yeah, it's like $38 a share.
They raised on top of their original offer with a new like cash segment. So the total, including all of that, is now $71.3 billion, which is
over Comcast by I think like $2 a share. They said. Yeah,
it's crazy.
So much money going around. It's insane.
So much money. I mean, like fucking.
What?
That amount of properties, like that, for like, I mean, the amount of IP that Fox has to have the rights to is probably insane. Like, I mean, on top of like the Marvel stuff, like they've got so much stuff. Do they make the Alien stuff?
Yeah, because because they always had that old timey looking green logo with their song.
Yeah.
And then also they own Indiana Jones. Right?
Wait.
Don't they?
No, Disney owns Indiana Jones.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay.
Because that's Lucasfilm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They may have been distributed by Fox or something. I don't remember, but the film rights are owned by Disney now.
Okay.
Previous to this deal.
I'm trying to think what else Fox has. So yeah, I think Alien.
I mean, I'm sure they have tons of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's crazy. Comcast going out of, not going out of business. They're just, kind of outbidded. And also I read on there that apparently like, Disney has already been through a lot of the hoops of the antitrust stuff. So if Comcast, outbids again, it's going to be delayed even longer, which might give Fox an incentive to cheat towards giving it to Disney as opposed to Comcast. So that's comforting.
Yeah. I mean, like from a real perspective, none of this is comforting, but also like one of these companies is going to buy it, and I would like it to be the one, like if they're just going to keep one-upping each other, like I would like it to be the one that could give me Fantastic Four in the MCU. But
don't you want like a follow-up to that one that came out like a few years ago?
Oh, God.
Do you believe him when he says that he has a good cut of the film?
I don't know.
Did you know
I don't
that
know
was a
what
thing
I
he
think about
says?
that movie. I'm sure he thinks that. I would believe it is better than the one that came out. Whereas on the others, like, if we're talking about, like, the Zack Snyder cut or whatever of Justice League,
Oh, yeah.
like, that is, I guarantee, 10 times worse than the movie that came out. But, like...
Yeah. Well, because that wasn't the studio meddling around. That was literally Joss Whedon tried, as a filmmaker, to make it a better film. So I trust that more than...
Joss Whedon has a sensibility that I trust, as opposed to Zack Snyder. Like... The Fantastic Four movie sounded like, I mean, like, I don't know how much of that fell on the director. I'm sure a decent amount fell on Josh Trank in terms of, like, making that movie bad, but also there were lots of stories about, like, studio meddling and stuff. So I would be curious if that somehow ever got out, but I highly doubt it ever would.
Did you watch that Fantastic Four in theaters?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It was, that one was doo-doo. It was a bad...
Better or worse than Wrinkle in Time?
Better.
Oh, that's good. Okay, in any case.
No, it was just, I don't know, boring.
I remember
it was
you
just
excited.
Kind of nothing.
I remember we were talking about when the trailer came out that you were excited that they were treating the powers as a sort of disease at first for them to. Like,
well, it looked like it was going to be like a body horror movie. Like,
yeah,
like this New Mutants movie that's coming out this next year now or whenever the hell.
February or August of next year?
God. Is, like, that's novel, again, because, like, horror in superhero movies, like, a superhero-related horror movie is still not really a thing that we've had yet.
Yeah.
Not really. And, like, I think, like, the particular kind of, like, these characters don't want to be don't want to have superpowers, and they are, like, being transformed into these weird, like, mutants, like what is it like for a man to turn into the Thing and stuff. Like, I thought that was, like, an interesting idea for how to approach that.
Yeah.
And Just Trank, like Chronicle's great.
Yeah.
And, like,
I remember when you were
getting
getting that shit because you don't like found footage films. I remember.
Yeah. And that movie kind of, like, made me shut up a little bit, because that movie was really good. So yeah, I thought that trailer was really promising.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not what you would like think of when you think of the Fantastic Four, but, like, I think it could have been a really cool vehicle for a horror movie.
Yeah. I feel that. In any case, yeah, Disney outbid Comcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yeah, that's what we were talking about.
In any case, also, Doug saw Incredibles 2 last week, and
Have you still not seen that?
I haven't seen it yet.
I just saw it a second time.
Jesus.
2 days ago.
Alone?
My boss paid for us to go as a work outing.
Oh, that's fun. That's good.
Yeah, so
also, I was going to ask because you used your one time to go with MoviePass. So I was wondering
I can't fucking go to see movies a second time. Did you? They
What?
goddamn are going to start charging surge pricing on movies starting in, like, July.
That ruins the whole idea.
Like, if you want to go to a movie on, like, opening weekend or something, they're going to charge you, like, a couple extra bucks.
Oh, that's fucked.
Like, fucking
That's
stupid.
fucked. But honestly, I wouldn't even go because...
We're not renewing it at all. It's such a scam now.
Well, why do you think I waited for them to be a monthly as opposed to the year-long price? I knew they were going to pull some shit, you know?
Well, they've been around for a while. It's just like they've been kind of on the rocks the last year, trying to, like they keep losing, like, theaters keep dropping them and stuff, and so they're, like, desperate to try to make up money, and
yeah,
it's frustrating.
What
Anyways,
but Incredibles 2. So Doug actually didn't contribute to this, but it had the biggest opening weekend ever for an animated movie, and also
true. I technically did not contribute any money to this,
asshole.
Even though I saw it twice.
But also, I thought the coolest thing for this was that now, speaking of Disney being huge, Disney owns the 3 largest openings in America this year. Between Black Panther, and Infinity War, which is ridiculous. What?
I mean, like, for the last few years, like, they've had, like,
since Star Wars,
majority of the top 10, or at least a decent chunk of them.
Yeah. It's just
every
crazy.
year. It's crazy.
It's so sad that Wrinkle in Time didn't break into that
Jesus Christ.
fold, right? Am I wrong?
If that's that comes up with an alarming frequency with you, and it needs to stop.
I should see that movie. I really just need to see it. I'm sorry.
You should watch it to hate watch it.
Yeah. Oh, I like hate watching movies. It's fun. It's good. In any case,
yeah.
Incredibles 2. You know more than I. I want to see it really badly. It's gonna be seen by me soon. So I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah. So yeah, but it made, let's see, $182 million its opening weekend.
Damn.
Domestically. And then its domestic total right now, $293 million.
Oy, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
That's a lot of money.
Did pretty well worldwide too, right?
Yeah, worldwide right now it's 368 million. So yeah, they're doing pretty good.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's going to be trucking along, as well as Disney with Mr. Michael Iger. But let's move on into TV news, which I'm confused by this, Doug. I read this article. Okay, so the article right here, a rumor is that Kelsey Grammar is wanted for Doom Patrol TV series, namely the role of Niles Calder, which would be awesome. But I thought I read in the article that it said that they're basing this weird casting off of the description of the character, which doesn't mention him.
They're basing the fact that he is wanted for that character off of the character description. I don't really understand that connection. I mean, who else would he play?
No, I know. My understanding was that I thought they were self-casting the movie based off of who they thought would fit into that character.
No.
Okay, so that's not it. I don't know. The wording was confusing, but
it is a little confusing. But I think it's just that they have theoretically. Again, take this with a grain of salt. It's from us. This is from a site called thathashtagshow.com, but a bunch of other sites are reporting on it, so they must have some sort of credibility.
Okay. Honestly, I think Kelsey Grammer could be a good Robot Man, too. Especially since he has played people in heavy makeup and prosthetics before with Grease.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to do is, theoretically, all you'd have to do, if they're getting Kelsey Grammer, he's probably not going to, mocap the character or anything, I'm guessing.
No.
Not for a TV show. He'd just be doing the voice, but I think that could work. Yeah, I mostly just wanted to bring this up because I wanted to talk about, what we thought of that casting, if that was real.
I think he'd be good for Niles Calder. I think he'd be really good for Robot Man. I think those are the two that...
I think he's a little too verbose. He's a little too, fancy feeling.
For Robot Man?
For Robot Man?
Yeah.
Robot Man, I feel like you need someone with, southern accent or, he could do an accent, but, someone a little bit more kind of gruff.
Do you picture a southern accent when you read Robot Man?
Yeah, I think he's from the South.
Really?
He talks sometimes they write him with the really annoying how sometimes writers will. Do you remember in No Surrender? This is probably your first time reading Rogue as a character.
Yeah, I don't like
how they write her as a Southern character and they'll phonetically spell out her and she'll say y'all and stuff.
It's just kind of
she'll say my, but she'll say ma and she'll say it'll be MAH. My word.
Yes.
Yeah, it's terrible, and it's always very distracting to me. But sometimes people will write Robot Man like that. I think he was written a little bit with some Southern stuff like that in Keith Giffen's Doom Patrol.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessary for the character, but I don't know. Someone a little gruffer than Kelsey Grammer. I think he could do great as the Chief, though. I think that would be. Fun casting.
Oh, that'd be really, really fun. What is Kelsey Grammer up to these days? I haven't seen him around at all.
I'm not sure.
Seriously, I just feel like he's gone. I don't know.
I think he's doing stuff.
Yeah, he must
see.
be.
What is he doing these days? Actor Kelsey Grammer. He's in a movie called Like Father.
Oh, I actually just watched a trailer for that. It's about
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I've never heard of this.
It's about what is it? Kristen Bell and I guess Kelsey Grammer are playing a father-daughter, and they go on
father-daughter, like a single being.
Shut up. So
it's like a firestorm like scenario.
Oh yeah, it's good. No, the daughter goes on a cruise to like get away from her father, but the father also goes on the cruise because he's trying to have a vacation too. And then they realize they're stuck on a cruise for like a week, and it's this whole like, oh, I love you like a daughter, and I never showed it, and shit like that. So that's it. That's the whole thing.
Emotions.
Emotions, exactly.
Like how some people have.
Yeah. But yeah, Kelsey Grammer. I legit, when I was a kid, I thought Kelsey Grammer was involved with politics. Like, when I heard that name. Doesn't that sound like a senator?
He looks like someone who would be, like, a senator or something. Like
Senator Kelsey Grammer. That sounds right?
The Honorable Judge Kelsey Grammar.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Mm-hmm. In any case, we like Doom Patrol. We like Kelsey Grammer. Oh, Samantha just read Paint That Ate Paris, and she's reading it right now. I'm so happy.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
That's a definite high point not, I don't know if that's my favorite arc, but like, it's one of the high points.
Who does Mr. Nobody in a live-action Doom Patrol?
Oh, God. If they did Mr. Nobody. Holy shit. Get
Johnny Depp.
Crispin Glover. Well, who'd you say?
I said Johnny Depp, but no, don't do that.
Johnny Depp. He'll just disappear into the character.
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh, I fucking hate when people talk about him like that. Shut the fuck up.
Crispin Glover would be fun. I know we were thinking about that because we were just talking about American Gods.
Yeah.
Crispin Glover.
You need someone manic, someone who like.
Honestly, Jared Leto would probably be good.
Oh fuck.
Hey, he'd probably be pretty good. He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad actor.
No, I don't know. I would have said like, because I mean. Like, you would have thought the Joker a performance of the Joker by him would have been a bit more manic, and it was not really that. It was a bit muted.
Don't you think he was directed into that, though? That's sort of...
I'm not putting, like, blame on him for that or anything. Like, I think his performance was, like, fine and had some interesting thoughts. I think it was more of a... Visually, he looked stupid.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just would have... His performance was a bit more kind of, like... small than you would expect from a Joker performance.
Yeah, I can feel that. Okay, but in any case, what were we talking about? We were talking about Doom Patrol,
Kelsey Grammer, and Doom Patrol. I think we can move on from it.
Okay, sorry, we're gonna move on into comics news. We got some September solicitations, so we're gonna do Jack's solicitation marathon. Because Doug told me to make this as quick as possible, and I can. Doug. I can do it. I really can. So
okay, do this like auctioneer style as quickly as humanly possible. No. Right. But yeah, you picked out. I usually go through and pick out the highlights for these, just because I have more experience looking at these. But this week, you took the initiative to go through and pick out the highlights yourself.
You did pretty damn well, right?
Yeah, I was excited to see that. So what looked exciting to you, or did you want to note?
Okay,
solicitations this month.
What's exciting to me is all these. First of all these Earth 1 things. Have any of them had a Volume 2 yet?
Batman did. Teen Titans did. Superman, I think, has had 2 or 3.
Okay, never mind. In any case, Grant Morrison is coming out with a follow-up to his Wonder Woman Earth 1, which I need to read the first one of, but I'm really excited for. I really want to read both of them because I feel like I need more exposure to Wonder Woman, and I love Grant Morrison. So... yeah, it works. Yeah. My only exposure to Wonder Woman was Robinson's series, which we did not continue.
No. Yeah. So, you mean in comics?
In comics. Oh, yeah. I've watched all but 10 minutes of the movie, so I'm good. But I'm really excited. Is this Wonder Woman? I know you say that Grant Morrison these days is getting into sort of like weird meta like stuff. Is this...
No, this one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah? Is it a good Grant Morrison story?
Yeah, like I think Grant Morrison nowadays is... he's at his best when he's doing a character that has like a defined kind of shtick, and like he can't get too crazy. He's best when he's a little bit reined in.
Okay, like he's like the opposite of Jeff Lemire.
Yeah. Well, he works best under kind of the opposite. Like he works best under kind of constraints, like with an editor and everything, kind of like reining him in a little bit, yeah, his Wonder Woman Earth 1 the first volume, it was good. I think it'll probably be better if you read it. I haven't read the second volume because it hasn't come out yet, but like it's the first volume feels kind of slight a little bit. Oh. So like it'll probably be better if you read them together, I'm guessing.
Oh, but, it doesn't feel like a full story?
It feels like a full story. It's just, it's not, it's not super meaty, in terms of like, there's not a giant, I don't know, like the threat is pretty small. It's more of, it's a fairly good like origin story for her.
Okay.
But it's not like you're not getting like a big epic Wonder Woman tale all that much.
Okay.
So maybe this one will get a little bit more into that. Who knows?
Okay, I can feel that.
I'm definitely going to read it because, I want to see what Grant Morrison does with it, and fucking Yannick Paquette on that series.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's great. He did okay. Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing, and it's it's beautiful.
I'm really excited for that. We have the second volume of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, so Scott Snyder's is after that. Not after the second volume, after we get through Alan Moore's. In any case, we're going on. I say in any case all the time, and I'm so sorry. I really need to stop doing that. I should say...
It's like how I used to say anywho constantly.
You did say... Oh my god, I didn't realize that you don't say that anymore.
I've made a concerted effort to not say anywho anymore.
Anywho? Because you always say that. Wow.
It doesn't make sense. Well, who are we talking about? No one.
I guess
There's
not.
No one.
Well, we're talking about Tom King next. Because we got the announcement and the picture last week for Tom King's new Crisis, Heroes in Crisis #1, where he'll be delving into his Sanctuary Sanctuary, I was going to say IP, but then I was going to say idea. So, his Sanctuary thing, which is talking about PTSD and superheroes and dealing with their emotional trauma. This is going to come from Tom King Clayman in September. So I'm super pumped. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And also I'm really excited to actually read a Clayman thing, because I've only read short things from Clayman.
Oh yeah, I guess you haven't really read, you've just seen little short stories like the Tom King story in Action Comics 1000 and stuff.
Yeah. I'm pumped. He's my favorite artist, especially. You know why?
Yeah, he because he sounds like he's a man made of clay.
Doug, why would you make fun of his name like that? God, no, he just has really great art. You're so gross.
Oh boy. He's done some great stuff on Tom King's Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm going to read that someday. Moving on. I don't know this writer or this artist or anything, but we had talked about DC's Black Label imprint that's going to be coming out, and they just announced for September their first one, Batman Damned #1, in which they say Joker is dead, Batman doesn't know if he killed him or not, and that it is a supernatural horror story. So
yeah, it's also going to heavily feature John Constantine.
Oh yeah, that's like who's helping him out or something, which is, I don't know, does that interest you?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Like I love the supernatural part of the DC universe.
Yeah.
And I think that like having an outsider character like a Batman, like kind of delving into that in what they're describing as a horror story, like that sounds awesome.
Have you read a lot of John Constantine stuff?
Bits and pieces. I haven't really ever like stuck with a book. It's always been something I want to go back and read, like the original Vertigo series. And then Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo are fantastic
really?
Creative team. Yep.
Okay.
They're
usually a team together. What do they usually do?
They've done a few things together. They did a series about Rorschach when they were doing which was it was okay, but in the Before Watchmen stuff. But they've done other work together. They did a series called actually no, I think that was just Lee Bermejo. But they've done work together before, and I'm excited to see them do more Batman stuff. I like Lee Bermejo has a very like painted style.
I mean, I see I don't know if nice. It looks like he did the cover, and the cover looks pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. Lee Bermejo, very, very striking art. Brian Azzarello does very like gritty crime kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He has a series called 100 Bullets that is a Vertigo series, and it's really great. Not superhero related.
Okay, very cool. Well, moving on. I'm excited for that, maybe. We'll see. Moving on, though, we have another imprint that's starting up, the Sandman universe. We got I believe we got the last solicitations told us about the first installments in it, which was like a Sandman in general thing. Written by Neil Gaiman, I think. Was it?
Don't recall.
Don't recall. But these ones are the first non-Sandman universe things, which, I don't know, the covers look really interesting. One is called The Dreaming, and one is called House of Whispers. Do you recognize either of these writers is basically what I'm asking for this, or artists?
I recognize... I know who Cy Spurrier is. I don't think I've read anything by him. Bilquis Evely is a fantastic artist.
Okay.
She is great.
Do you think she did that?
I don't know anyone on this other book. No, that is... God, who is that? I know this person. Oh my god. I can think of everything that he has ever done, and I cannot place his name. Good god.
Sucks. Okay, well, we'll get back to that. I just thought I'd say it because it's a cool thing, and they look really, really interesting, these covers. So I like this moon.
I'm gonna look up this person's work. It should take me just 1 minute.
Okay. I'll count. 1, 2, 3. No, I won't. In any case,
it is by Jay Lee. Jay Lee. I love Jay Lee. Jay Lee's great. And I can think of all of the stuff I like from him, just not his name.
That is a pretty nondescript name, Jay Lee. You know what I mean? I feel like a spy would be named that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good spy series. We should pitch that to Jay Lee.
Let's pitch it to Tom King.
That he should draw it about himself.
No, Tom King should write it, and Jay Lee should draw it, right? Because they are the...
But then the character has to be Jay Lee.
But the character... Of course. Character is Jay Lee, of course.
Yes.
Okay. In any case. Sorry. Anywho. I'm gonna start saying it now. Okay. The Dreaming, House Whispers, Sandman stuff. I want to read Sandman at some point soon. Is it a lot of material that I'm gonna have to go through, or what?
I mean, I think it's a fairly long series.
Yeah.
It's
you don't have to
went on for a while.
Okay.
What?
I said you don't have to look it up, but you weren't. You were just sneezing.
Yeah.
And being a
I was just sneezing.
Did you know that Vince McMahon, who's the chairman of WWE, that he doesn't like it when people sneeze because he sees it as a thing you can't control. Like, you should be able to control your reaction.
Sneezes?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yes, that's actually crazy. That's a crazy thing.
Crazy old man. It's insane. And he's in charge of a $1 billion company. In any case, also, god damn it. United States versus Murder Inc. Did you read this when it was at Marvel?
No, that's the Bendis series, right?
Yes, this is a Bendis series. This was United States of Murder was a Bendis series at Marvel, which I heard that IGN apparently voted the first issue was the best issue of the year or something like that. They voted.
Sure.
So you didn't read any of that though?
No.
Okay.
I honestly, until this DC stuff, I haven't really gotten much into Bendis.
Oh, wow. Okay, well,
I've read bits and pieces. I know his style, but I've never had a book that I have latched onto.
Okay. Well, this is coming over to DC. He's bringing it over, the concept, so we're going to see how it works. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I won't read it. I mean, it looks interesting. Who knows, though? And then with Marvel, I wanted to ask you about this Thanos. I didn't see much. They didn't really announce too many new stuff. They had their whole fresh start stuff now, so they're just continuing it basically into September. But we had this Thanos Legacy #1 thing, which is going to show, is I guess a tie-in to Infinity Wars, which is what they're doing. And you fell off of, right?
I read the first issue of the Countdown series. Yeah. I think I'm going to try to, I don't know, read a summer. Maybe I'll read that stuff afterwards all at once, or I'll just jump into Infinity Wars without that stuff and see if I can parse it. But I want to, if I'm not having too crazy of a week or something whenever that event actually starts,
yeah,
I want to try to read it
So you're probably definitely going to read this thing that they're coming out, because why wouldn't you? It's Donny Cates plus that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going
probably.
to. I probably will. Like, it's going to be...
I might. I don't know.
It'll probably be a standalone story. It'll probably just be like, you know, a follow-up in general. I don't know how much Donny Cates is actually going to do in it, though.
Yeah, he's co-writing it with Jerry Dugan, who's the writer of Infinity Wars. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? They never break down how that stuff is broken up. But Donny Cates is involved in some way. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. But I also wanted to talk about, because Image has a lot of really, really cool stuff coming out. I'm really, really pumped.
Yeah, they had a lot of number ones solicited in their solicitations for this next month. Yeah. I looked through them and I missed this Warren Ellis one. But yeah, so what did you think looked interesting
like
to you
said,
in Image's solicitations?
I was excited. There were a lot of really exciting things, but I was really excited about 3 specifically. One was Warren Ellis, with this art covered by Jason Howard. I really, really love the art. That's what kind of sold it for me. I feel like
it's a very striking cover.
The concept interests me, but the art sells it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. His books also, solicitations are hard with his, because quite often with Warren Ellis's new series, part of the experience is in kind of figuring out what it is.
Okay.
Because they're not super upfront about, like, this is what the book is and this is kind of what it's going to be about. It's a lot of times it's kind of a mystery, or at least if it's like structurally mysterious, if not about a mystery. Like a lot of times you just kind of have to like roll with it and like pick out parts that you and try to piece it together, you know, like you're trying to figure out what the book is. Like, you don't know what the hell is happening in Injection for like 6 issues or something. It's but it's fascinating.
Okay.
Love that book.
I'm excited. This is going to be my first Warren Ellis thing, probably, unless I read something between now and September. So I could. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get a new writer under my belt. Yeah. But also, another one I was excited for, which Doug was telling me is controversial.
Not really, but I mean, anyways.
Controversial for some, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Chelsea Kane, who's coming hot off of her, stuff that she stirred up with with some of the comics community industry, is coming out with Man-Eaters #1, which looks awesome. It's about menstruating women who turn into killer, ferocious wildcats. How is that not amazing? I love that. I love it. Now,
it's ridiculous.
I wanted to ask Doug. Okay, so I started reading some stuff about this Comicsgate stuff, and looking at it with a critical eye and seeing like what exactly it is. Now, on one hand, I think the outrage is very, very misplaced, obviously. On the other hand, I'm not sure if I respond well all the time with the same kind of humor like that. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like she uses the humor based off of, like, a lot of feminist overtones, stuff like that, a lot. And while that's fine, and I think it's very funny, especially at times, like I saw a clip that was really, really funny where they have pirate ghosts and the evil guy's like, leave the woman, but kill the rest. And the pirate ghosts are like, that's screwed up. Why would you say that? That's weird. And then they just leave. You're like, bye dude, that's dumb. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really funny. But I feel like if it is laid into too much, I can see it being a little tiring. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, but she can write whatever she wants.
Oh no, she can write whatever. I'm not saying that.
I just
to each their own.
I just like, I don't want to give any validity to these people who like.
Oh no,
the whole thing about Comicsgate is that these people think that that all these writers have some sort of like obligation to the fan community.
Oh yeah,
in a way that is really gross.
Doug, I'm not saying. That's why I'm saying I don't understand the outrage. I think it's dumb, but I can understand like if you just don't dig on that all the time. I'm not saying, like, of course, to each their own, but that's why I'm literally saying to each their own. Like, they should
if you don't like her style or something, yeah, that's fine.
All I'm saying. That, like, I dropped Domino. I didn't like the style of it.
I just don't even know why it's worth saying, you know?
Right. I mean, it was a big deal. That's why it's worth saying. I mean, I get that you, like, don't hold any water in it, but it was truly a big thing that went down. And, you know what I mean? This is a significant thing with this, number one she's putting out, right? So.
Sure. But, like, again, like, I just want to stress that, like, I don't know why we should need to say that, like, a writer can write whatever they want, and if you don't like it, just don't read it. You don't need to attack, like, the writer.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, I don't know. I don't want to give any validity to that stuff.
Okay. Just so everyone knows, I apologize for my comment. I'm just kidding. No. I don't give any validity to anything they are saying. I'm just saying literally what you're saying, to each their own, and if you don't like something, don't buy it. And I can understand that even. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for this one though, because I really want to read a story about menstruating women turning into cats.
It's a very ridiculous. It's definitely her leaning, like, way into the stuff that people, like, got pissed at her about.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's ballsy, and I like
giant
it.
FU, totally putting on the poll, like, right now.
Yeah.
The other thing, really quickly, I'm really excited because I just started reading, what is it? Kill or Be Killed, Volume 1. We finished it a bit ago, but I am really excited for that. This romantic team, this creative team of Ed Brubaker.
So romantic.
Shut up. Of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips have this, OGN, My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. And it looks really interesting. I'm really pumped. It looks really cool.
Yeah, their work is pretty much always a sure bet that it's going to be something really cool.
Yeah.
This is apparently their first OGN.
Oh.
They've always come out with monthlies or single issue series of some kind. So this is they said they were excited that this was the first thing that they're making that is intended to be first read as a single hardcover.
Oh damn.
So it's being, like, they're thinking around that and, like, adjusting for that, and they find that exciting, and I'm excited to read that.
Yeah. I mean, it looks really interesting. I think it's going to be cool because I really, as much as the action in Kill or Be Killed is great, and I haven't been caught up, but we do have the first 3 volumes, so I'm going to need to do 2 and 3 soon. But as much as I love the action, I really love how they delve into that character and how his emotional, sort of the way he deals with his emotions is, expresses themselves. So I think this specifically is really laying into that, and I'm super pumped. Super pumped.
Yep.
Okay. In any case, should we move on into why don't you talk about a little about this? We're going to be done with solicitations. If there's something else that you liked, talk about it with your friends. Or talk about it with us. Tell us about it. Doug, tell us about this Walmart stuff. I like Walmart. Walmart's fun, isn't it?
It's a store. I don't know that I'd say it's fun. It's a store.
What if Walmart outbids Disney for Fox's stuff?
Oh my god, wow, just in. No. So DC made an exclusive deal with Walmart, that they are going to be providing that chain with a series of 100-page giant series. So basically that means that these series, they're going to be coming out monthly, exclusively to Walmarts, and they are going to be clocking in at 100 pages.
Now, I was confused with this. For some reason, I interpreted this as they were going to have 100-page stories, but this is these are just collections.
No. So
right?
it's a mix. There's a couple news stories in each of these, and then reprints of, like, 3 or 4 different existing series.
And they're doing reprints from, like, New 52, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a weird mix. There's a bunch of New 52 and stuff in here that I think is weird. Yeah. But, like, so we've got series for Superman, Teen Titans, Batman, Justice League. Those are the 4, I guess. And then there are, like, if you look at, like, the Teen Titans one, for example, we've got a series, we've got, in addition to, a new multi-part story, we've also, by Dan Jurgens, we've also got a reprint of the first issue of Super Sons from this last year.
Oh, yeah.
And Sideways from this year. And then Teen Titans #1 from 2003. Batman has Nightwing #1 from 2011.
That is so bizarre.
And Batman #608 from 2002. It's weird. It's a bunch of it's a bunch of intro points so that they can. I think the idea here is they're trying to really get new readers.
Yeah, so they're trying to widen their sort of distribution.
Yeah, I mean it's 100 pages if you're not a comics reader, and so the fact that it's a reprint doesn't matter to you. And you see this is 100 pages of story for $5. That's a pretty damn good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, the weird thing is, a lot of these stories, you're getting the first issue of, long runs.
Yeah.
So, and I guess that's the point, but, you're not getting a whole lot of, full stories. Unless, I mean, I don't know, are they going to be maybe they'll be continuing? Maybe they'll have...
I have no idea.
They've got Terrifics #1 in the Superman one. Maybe they'll have Terrifics #2 and then in the second issue or something. I don't
know, man. Do you think this is a Diamond Publishing deal? They really wanted to do this? Do you think this was inspired by them, or what do you think?
I have absolutely no idea. This is. I'm assuming this is just a marketing thing from DC. Okay. But I don't care about the reprints. Whatever. If I wanted to read those series, I would buy a trade or whatever. But. Yeah. This is for other people who aren't comics readers at the moment. But there are new stories in some of these. For example, the Superman one includes a standalone story from Jimmy Palmiotti and Tom Derenick, which is fine. But then also the first part of a 12-part story from Tom King.
Oh.
And Andy Kubert. So it's titled Up in the Sky. They give a little synopsis here. It says it's a galaxy-spanning mission.
Huh.
So that sounds fun.
That does sound fun, but I don't want to pay $5 for just that.
Right. That's the drawback. But
I'd rather just find it online. I'm sure it's going to be online somewhere, right?
I mean, I'm sure you can probably buy it digitally, just that's... I don't know, because it's this Walmart exclusive thing.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. They may or may not put it online individually. It may not even go digital at all. I don't know.
So sad.
I would hope that they would sell the individual stories on their own, but I would also be willing to bet that part of this exclusivity deal means that they won't. But then there's also the Batman one has a story by Brian Michael Bendis, which they don't say in this, but Bendis announced on Twitter that Nick Darrington is doing the art on it. That is also a 12-part story.
That's the guy that did the art for the new Doom Patrol run, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Right? It's so frustrating because, yes, I don't really want to pay $5 to get, a bunch of reprints of shit I don't care about.
Yeah, but I want that.
But, yes. Yeah, there...
Also, did you know that there are, no Walmarts in LA? And I'm not probably going to be able to find one.
Yeah, that's real weird. Let's see. Yeah, then it seems like each of these has a one-off story, a new one-off story, like a one-shot story of some kind, and then an installment of an original 12-part or multi-part story from big-name creators. And that sound like I'm really curious to read that. I hope there's a way I can read that without buying this whole giant thing. Also, I don't know. $5 isn't that much.
It's not.
It's also I'm currently concerned about this amount of space my comics are taking up. And if I want this just for that Tom King story and that Bendis story, this is going to take up so much space, especially if I'm buying 12 of them and for 2 of these series, you know?
Oh, yeah.
God, I don't know. Hopefully there's a way for me to read those without having to have this giant thing.
No, definitely. Well, we'll see how it works. But Doug, should we move on into our current comics?
We sure can.
We read comics this week, didn't we, Doug?
We did.
We had one where we had a bit that we both got. It's another kind of pretty big week, but not a lot of number ones this time. Next week it kind of lets up a little bit. Does it for you as well?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lighter week.
Yeah.
Next week. This week was, like, decently light for me. It was just, like, there was a lot of really good stuff.
Oh, yeah. I was a big fan. Including Avengers number 3, Black Hammer Age of Doom number 3, Captain America 704, which was the last of Mark Waid's run, Gideon Falls number 4, Justice League number 2, Man of Steel number 4, and Tony Stark, Iron Man number 1. And Doug, you read some things without me, didn't you?
Yep, I read Batman number 49, Doctor Strange number 2, and The Wildstorm number 14. I'm probably gonna drop Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah? What was it like?
Just very briefly, it's like now that we're Doctor Strange kind of spoiler warning, by the way. We're going to talk specifics about these books. He doesn't have magic anymore, which was frustrating because we just did that. And like the first issue did a really good job of like kind of like setting up why that was and why he's going to space now. But like now we're in it and we're in that story and he doesn't have magic. And it's just kind of a story about Stephen Strange, which is fine. I like Stephen Strange as a character.
Yeah.
But like I read Doctor Strange comics like partly because I like Stephen Strange, but also I like that it's like a big magic based book. Like we're delving into that part of the universe in Marvel, and it's kind of completely bereft of that.
Yeah. But is it like, are they doing some good character beats with him or no? Or
yeah, I don't know. Nothing that's like crazy hooking me. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not bad. It's like, it's good. I don't feel super motivated to keep reading, honestly.
I gotcha. Is the art really great or?
The art was good. It wasn't as good as that first issue. That first issue, like, caught me off guard with how good it was. And this one was good. I think this artist, he, ironically, Jesus Saiz, I think, is the artist on this.
Yeah. That's it.
Check that. But, I think he does better with, supernatural stuff than.
Why is that ironic?
With sci-fi stuff. I don't know. Like, something about his space stuff feels a little generic to me.
No, why was that ironic is what I'm asking.
Because they took away, this is a book about a magic, like I just said, this is a book about a sorcerer who had his magic taken away.
Yes.
I think the magic parts in the first issue looked really good. And like, this stuff in this issue looks good. It does, but I found the supernatural stuff in the first issue
Okay.
more interesting.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, you also read a new series that I did not.
I did. You also didn't write down Skyward number 3, which I read.
Oh, I missed that one.
That is also still continuing to be really good, and I think you should jump on. It's really fun, and the art's beautiful. It's really great.
Yeah, it's something I want to read at some point. At this point, I'll probably
just wait for the trade
whenever that comes out.
Okay, but, I'll let you know. I'm definitely like this issue sealed it in for me. This issue hooked me, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I've been hearing some really great stuff about that series. The art looks fantastic every time I've glanced at it.
Yeah, and then I also read Shanghai Red, which is a new Image series written by who? Christopher Sabella. Which I am really excited about. This hooked me for this one too. I'm super pumped. It looks great. I love the area that they're playing within. And, actually, okay. Yeah, we'll just go right on into our cover of the week. Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Spoiler warning. My cover of the week is Shanghai Red from, Image. Doug, do you have an image of this? Do you want me to get it up? I don't know. I'm sorry.
I can pull up an image of it.
Yeah, you do it. I'd rather you do the work.
Yeah, you just talk.
But what I like about this is this entire cover is red and different shades. Like there's black and red basically. And what they do is I feel like they use it so well. Like, they have so much detail put into, it's this, pirate ship going over a rolling wave with these sharks, in the foreground, following it behind, and like as if they're giving out blood in the water. I really just like it, and I think it really puts you in the mood of where this issue is playing. I really think it's really cool how they do all the detail with just one color, basically. I also really like, I don't know why, but I like that the number 1 on this is NO1. It looks like it's like an old-timey, like alcohol thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. Do you know what I mean?
What is like an old-timey alcohol thing?
It says NO1 for the number 1. And it makes me feel like it's an old-timey sort of feeling thing.
Definitely, it definitely has some like really old-school typography look to it. I love when people do that little like O with the line under it.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah, I really like this cover. There's some really cool use of like depth here.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
The way in which the water is like, it's this huge wave, like rolling river, and you're up at the top of the wave, and there's all these shark fins.
Yes.
Like 6 or something of them, and they're all going towards this boat that's kind of off more in the background. Yeah, it's a really cool cover. And you liked this issue though? Oh,
I really did. It's really, really great. I really enjoy like the story that they set up for it. I really enjoyed the story that they told in this specific issue. It's I think it's something you should jump onto, honestly. This first issue was really, really great, and I think it speaks for the future of it too. So I'm really
exactly pumped. Is the book about? It's
so
like Japanese pirates? Is that what it is?
Did you say Japanese pirates?
Is it not in Japan? Where is it?
Do you know where Shanghai is?
Oh God, you're right. The title does say Shanghai. I didn't put that together.
You're terrible. No.
Chinese pirates, then.
So basically this is about a ship. Okay, so people get sold to ships when some people owe debts so that they can pay them off by working on a ship. They're basically indentured servants. So they're on this ship, and, there's this one dude who is put on this ship unjustly, and they basically, the premise is them getting revenge on the people, but this specific issue, like, it doesn't take place in Shanghai. They're in Portland now, but they say this is going to, like, they have this ship, like, in their control, so I'm assuming that this is going to take place in a lot of different places. So I think
a globe hopping thing a little bit.
Yeah, it says in the solicitation, in fact, that like it's going to go from all the way from Shanghai to Portland, which I don't think they do in this specific issue, but I believe they have a ship. They're going to be going around. It's not going to be staying one place. So
when does this book take place?
Like 1800s, like cowboy stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So when they're in Portland, is there like frontier cowboy stuff going on?
Well, yeah, they've been gone from Portland for 3 years. They're like, oh, it looks like they built a city on top of a city. So it's like developed cowboy. Sure. Think of like a big city in Red Dead Redemption. Like, I imagine like this is what a big city would look like.
Yeah.
So yeah,
cool.
I'm really pumped. It's really cool. I think you should do it. A lot of these covers look really striking and awesome.
Yeah.
So the art is great, very dark, but very, I don't know. I'm really excited. That's about it.
Yeah. I have seen Christopher Sabella's name around a bunch. I've not tried any of his books. I don't know this Joshua Hickson, but you say his art is cool.
He did the cover too, so.
Yeah, if it's like anything like that cover, that sounds great.
Yeah, he does art, colors, and cover. So
yeah, I'm looking up some examples of his art, and this looks great. Yeah, I'm a fan.
It really
of this.
fits with the thing they're going for too. Like it's almost
like a revenge
story.
Is it like an action book?
Not thus far. It's almost like we're kind of delving into the main character's emotion a lot. Like it almost sounds like a character story as well, but there's definitely action points. Like the whole action sequence they draw, which has very little words, of someone going on a rampage, is great. Like, really, really awesome. I was very taken aback by it, because I honestly wasn't expecting it all that much. It was really, really cool, though. Yeah. So, and
then I did notice I don't have the interior credits on this. I just Googled the cover, but it is Hassan Otsmane.
Yes, doing the lettering.
The letterer.
Yeah.
He I don't know that I've seen his. I know he works in comics, but I don't know that I've actually seen him credited on something. He does a really cool YouTube series called Strip Panel Naked.
Oh.
That is basically, he breaks down sequences or panels in comic books. And so it's kind of like a comics, and it's almost like if you've ever watched a film analysis thing, like every frame a painting or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing. It's something like that, where it's like digging into all the subtleties of a particular tiny bit of.
That's on YouTube?
Yeah, it's fantastic. There's a lot of good stuff. He's started doing, in the last couple years, I think he started doing some creator talks on there as well.
But I'm totally going to watch that. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's some really, really great stuff in there. I'm a big fan of that show. Highly recommend it to anyone who
wants the lettering in this,
learn about the art of comics, like the subtleties and stuff of it.
Yeah. I mean, the lettering in this isn't distracting, which is, nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's basically all you ask for.
Yeah. I think that's what he does in comics, but then the YouTube series is some sort of. I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. I don't know anything about his.
I'll watch
career.
it. And
I just really like his YouTube series.
I'll report
and I have not seen a credit from him on a book before, so that just made me want to.
I think you should get
plug that. But what now?
So I think you should get it. And also, I don't know if they're going to do this for, a lot, but they use sequences of silence in this really well. So I'm really digging this guy's art. I think he tells a really good story.
Yeah.
And, I think you should do it. Did I convince you?
I'm going to pick that up next week. I don't have a crazy big week, and that book looks intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Doug, what was your cover? I'm going to follow the link right now.
Following our theme of red this week, my cover was The Wild Storm, number 14. And so this series has had a very particular kind of series of covers, in that before this series started, or around the beginning of this series, in an interview with Warren Ellis, who writes this series, the art is by John Davis Hunt, as well as the cover. Warren Ellis said that he wanted the covers for this series to look like album covers.
Oh,
it's very striking images of a single character in very graphic kind of images, and a lot of the covers for this series have been really great. I don't remember if I've called any of them out before.
That was what I owed about. I just opened it, so this is really cool. I love this.
Yeah, they're always very striking. This one in particular, I think I like. It's very simple, but it's for some reason, it's an image I feel like I haven't really seen before, even though it's a very simple idea. This character has super strength.
Yeah.
And she's holding a car above her head with one hand. She's very calm about it. It's clearly like a very easy task. And then it's just like in this very graphic red and black and white environment.
Yeah.
There's some cool kind of like tech stuff with fleur-de-lis interwoven into it. It's really eye-catching.
Yeah.
And
you don't think really the car is supposed to be green, do you?
What now?
Do you think the car is meant to be green, if not black and white? For the Superman image.
What are you talking about right now?
That cover that you were telling me about, where Superman has a green car over his head?
I mean, I don't know. It might be sort of a reference to that, I guess. I don't
know. That's what I imagine.
This car, this is a moment from the book. Let me look. The car is gray.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But anyways.
But I'm really pumped. I really need to read. This is from Authority, you said?
This is, so the Wild Storm, one word, used to be a imprint / universe that DC event that was its own thing. Authority took place in that, and that was something that Warren Ellis wrote. But there's a lot of other stuff in that universe.
Okay.
And then eventually DC bought that imprint, and they integrated a bunch of those characters into their regular universe. And then in the last couple of years, they relaunched the Wildstorm universe, it's a whole new iteration of it.
Yeah.
And it is an imprint run by Warren Ellis, being a kind of pivotal figure from the original incarnation of it. And he writes this central book from which they spun out one book. There are going to theoretically be more books. I think he's leading towards a new version of the Authority.
Okay.
So this is him writing the universe in which Authority took place.
Okay. So should
it's a bit broader than that, but
should I read Authority first and then read this? Is that all I have to read before this?
I don't think you need to. Like, if you read some other Wildstorm stuff, all I've read is Authority and some of the spin-off stuff from that. But if you had read that, you'd recognize some of the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But this book is not necessarily meant for you to have read that other stuff. It's an all new version of this universe and these characters. And
okay.
I don't think you really need to know anything about them to read this book. It's a great book.
So it's going on for one more year, I see.
Yes, it's 24 issues. Theoretically, they have a little ticker on the top of. I don't know that I've talked about it before, but I really like just the kind of the dressing on these books. The graphic design, is really strong. But they have a little ticker at the top of every issue that says what number it is between 1 and 24. So I assume once we get to 24, this book is ending, and I think it's leading towards the launch of a new Authority book. I don't know if Warren Ellis is going to do it or not. Who knows? I would hope so, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll try and pick that up. Maybe I'll try and pick up this thing and catch up before the next issue or something like that. They probably have 2 trades out now, right? Because if it's at 12?
Yeah, you would think so if they're 6-issue trades. I'm not sure how they're bundling those up, but because I've been reading them in issues, but
okay.
It's a great book. It's a great mix of. It's just kind of about the universe in general and about a lot of different characters.
Yeah,
and it's a cool mix of conspiracy and spy stuff, but then also superpowers, and it's a really fascinating world they've set up. So okay. I definitely recommend this book. The cover and the art in general from John Davis Hunt.
Yeah.
Is really striking and fantastic. Great pairing with Warren Ellis's writing.
Cool. Yeah, I'm pumped. Cool. Doug, well, let's do yours first. Doug, what is the book this week that you have got to talk about?
The book that I have got to talk about this week is Justice League #2. This is the second issue from Scott Snyder. The first issue was done by Jim Chung. This one is done
Jorge Jimenez.
Jorge Jimenez, who I get the impression from upcoming solicits and stuff, he is going to be more of a presence on this series than Jim Chung.
Okay.
But there's just a bunch of stuff in this that I just really liked. I wanted to talk about the new Iron Man run, and then I thought there's also stuff I wanted to talk about at Man of Steel and stuff, and I just realized just the book that had the most this book isn't necessarily as big of an event or something as some of that other stuff in terms of the industry, but
a lot of shit went down in this issue.
Yeah, just a lot of cool stuff. And also I just fucking this was the first I think full ish. We might have had other full issues from Jorge Jimenez and Scott Snyder before, but they are a creative pairing that I really like, and I can look at Jorge Jimenez drawing the entire Justice League team forever.
Yeah.
Really, really strong showing from him. I love his particular blend of dramatic art, and then also there's it's mixed with a bit of cartooning. It's a bit exaggerated.
Yeah.
I big fan of the art. in this issue.
My favorite moment for art, and even just the whole thing, probably it's the climax of the entire thing, was Jon Stewart landing in this, like this page splash of him landing, I thought is so pretty looking. You know what I mean?
So there's a number of things happening in the story of this book. We've got the Legion of Doom has some scary behind the scene machinations. I don't know how you say that word.
Yeah.
We don't really know exactly what their plan is yet, but as part of it, Sinestro has seemingly renounced his role as the leader of the Sinestro Corps, or the Yellow Lanterns, whatever you want to call them, and has become a member of the Ultraviolet Corps, which is an idea that I find fascinating. And he has kind of like,
can't hear you.
I don't know if he's like
can't hear you.
Infected Jon Stewart, or what, but he has kind of like forced him into that group, as he says, their leader. A lot of the last kind of 10 years, like since Jeff Johns took over Green Lantern a while back, of Green Lantern have been about like kind of like discovering the emotional spectrum, how like the Green Lanterns are like powered by willpower, and the Sinestro Corps or the Yellow Lanterns are powered by fear. And then there's all these other, over the course of that run and
green is greed
runs.
Green is greed.
No,
White?
green is will.
Oh yeah. Wait, what's orange is greed?
Orange is greed, yes. But like, yeah, there's red is rage. We've got blue is hope. Like, the star sapphires, they're like pink, are love. So there's a whole.
I think my favorite mantra is oranges, because isn't it like what's mine is mine, or mine is mine, or something like that? Yeah, he also is the only Orange Lantern because he went around and killed all the others. It's great.
And he manifests all of the other, the Orange Lantern Corps, quote, is him making orange light constructs of all of the dead Orange Lanterns.
Is he treated like a joke, or is that like a big deal? Like,
I don't know. Like, he's weird. His name is Larfleeze, but he, like, it's a mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the emotional spectrum is a big thing in the Green Lanterns, and this is the first we've heard of the idea of like the invisible emotional spectrum.
Yeah.
So we've got ultraviolet, which is a color that the human eye cannot see, which apparently is powered by the emotions you are trying to hide or whatever, which is a very Scott Snyder thing. He's all about like your secret feelings and stuff that you don't want to admit. Yeah. And I think that's really cool.
It's a really cool angle with Jon Stewart specifically, which I love. I think it's great.
Yeah.
How they set him
been
up.
Kind of taken over by his like emotions he's been keeping back. I think that's a really cool angle. Also I really like how Scott Snyder writes Lex Luthor. I eat that shit up. The
reveal at the end just said he's like maniacally like, is so great.
Yeah, he's inside of, there's a number of people inside of some other people in this issue. Not my favorite, not my panel of the week, but one of my favorite moments this week was, they're going in to go check out this weird anomaly, and they're like, "Where's Batman?" And Batman's like, he's like, I worked with Ray Palmer to shrink myself down. I'm in a protective vehicle. And they're like, where are you? Very close up of Batman's face. And he says, I'm inside Clark's body. And Superman's so uncomfortable about it.
It's so great. I love it.
Yeah, so he and Hawkgirl end up being in these tiny ships inside of Superman and Martian Manhunter's bodies to protect them, and then Lex Luthor is in a tiny little ship attacking them inside of their bodies, and it's all just, there's a lot of just really fun ideas
Now,
this book.
Remember, when Legion of Doom is shown, they never show Joker in this room with them. Do you think the Joker is in a body as well?
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't show up in this issue.
Right?
Yeah, what is he doing?
He must be. I think he's in a body. Maybe he is in Batman's body, in Clark's body.
He's even smaller. They're like on a microbiotic level, and Joker's on like an even tinier level inside of Batman.
Hey,
or maybe he's inside of Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what it is, honestly. But
yeah.
But yeah, I'm pumped. I think the idea of an ultraviolet. Also, I wonder if they're going to go into the infrared core then.
Yeah, theoretically, this would somehow lead into, I don't know how much they're going to dig into the other invisible stuff. They do name drop the invisible emotional spectrum, so not just the ultraviolet core. Yeah. So theoretically, there are other colors. Yeah, so like infrared. What are other? I feel like you would know this more than me.
Wait, are you going to ask me what are other invisible
colors?
Doug, what does light spectrum mean?
What?
There's stuff at this end of the spectrum, and there's stuff at this end of the spectrum.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, let's take visible light first. Visible light, there's one end of the spectrum and another end of the spectrum, right?
Uh-huh. Sure.
So, where are the only other places to go?
So are ultraviolet and infrared just anything beyond that on either end?
I mean, I'm sure there is stuff beyond infrared and ultraviolet that I probably don't know about, but that's generally the idea. They wouldn't go that far into it. No, that's not common. No, I mean, who knows that ultraviolet is common? I think that's common knowledge.
But I mean, is that basically like, does it just mean ultraviolet is anything beyond violet, anything beyond purple, and infrared is anything beyond red?
Simplistically, yes. Basically. Yeah. I don't think they...
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Okay. I just don't think they would go any further than that. So yeah, I believe infrared would be the only thing they would do.
Okay. Interesting.
Sorry to treat like
I mean, what else would you... I was just thinking about that, and like, what else would you call... like, it's ultraviolet because it's beyond violet. Like, what, are they going to make up another color or just assign it to another color? Like,
it's
we don't know. It's nothing. Like, it's... They can't just say it's the invisible version of orange or whatever. We can't see it. Oh my god.
If they ever did that, I would drop that series in a second. If they ever did that kind of shit.
No, but they could do infrared.
They could definitely do. I don't know. I wonder how that would
be as opposed to ultraviolet. Because like, if this one is specifically about your hidden emotions, what would infrared be as opposed to this? I have no idea.
What if infrared is about, like, emotions that you, like, that you're... Oh, I don't know. No, I have no idea. I'll leave it to Scott Snyder if he does it.
I mean, yeah, I think that would be something that would be interesting. I want to know what that would be. But, like, yeah, I'm just really enjoying this series. I think it's it feels big and weighty, and I really like how all the characters are written. One thing I saw pointed out about the first issue and this that like is like maybe the only little quibble I have about it is that like Barry Allen is kind of written as Wally West.
Yeah, okay. So is Barry Allen usually a little more serious?
A little bit. He's still he's still a lighter character than a lot of the other characters. Like he's a more kind of chipper character, but he's not like as like this version of the Flash here is almost like Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
And that it's just like a joke a minute, which is that's more Wally West's bag, in that he's a much more kind of like jokey character.
Huh.
But
maybe I feel like people like, maybe why they're doing it is because like, I think people see Flash as a more jokey character, but they also know Barry Allen's name more.
Yeah. Also, this run seems to be very specifically like, at least in the lineup, I don't know how much in the actual like story itself, but like the lineup feels very inspired by
animated series.
The lineup of the animated series, and Wally was the Flash in that. So I think Scott Snyder is kind of vibing on how those characters are written, in that series, and so maybe that's why he's doing it here. And it just happens that like Barry is the Flash right now, so it has to be Barry.
Wally is the Flash in the animated series?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. I always assumed it was Barry Allen. I don't know why.
It doesn't come up that much, but they do name drop him as Wally in that.
Okay. Well,
Cool.
in any case, I really like Justice League. I like it a lot better than Christopher Priest's run, honestly. So I'm really excited for this to continue.
I ended up not being super thrilled with that series at the end of it.
Yeah,
but whatever. It was a stopgap until this happened. And, I'm liking this a lot more than I've liked some Scott Snyder's recent DC stuff. So,
definitely.
I'm very happy to be excited about one of his books again because I think this is honestly fantastic. So,
yeah. In any case, sorry. My issue that I got to talk about is Black Hammer: Age of Doom, which we didn't talk about last issue that came out. So I'm excited that we're doing this now. And I just noticed that we just talked about this week that Dave Stewart does all the colors for all of these books. So I'm really happy about that because his colors are so great. Now, things I want to talk about with this specifically. First, I'm very happy that Lucy Weber, Black Hammer, is out of Dreamland, and I'm really happy that we're getting the story moving and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if she stayed again in there, I'd feel a little slighted.
No, yeah, that was a one issue detour to introduce that as an idea that we'll probably return to.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad we got back. And oh god, fucking Madame Dragonfly. What if she's helping though? It seems like when they were arguing with Colonel Weird, it seems like she was, saying we have to do this, and shit like that. So
yeah, so I have a theory. I have a theory about what's happening. Okay, so we're in the oh god, what do they call this house that they're in?
Black Hammer Farm.
No, the house that Madame Dragonfly has. It's not the House of Mystery because that's the actual DC thing that they're kind of riffing on here. I don't remember what this is actually.
They don't say it in this issue. I don't remember.
I don't think they say it in this issue. But anyways, this mysterious house that Madame Dragonfly kind of lives in. So they imply that all of these doors lead to all these different worlds in this.
Yeah,
and I think. So the premise of this series is that all of these heroes were going to die in this big epic crisis-like event where they were fighting the anti-god, and then when instead of dying they were transported to this small town and they can't escape. So I think what happened is they were going to die, and Madame Dragonfly, in order to save them, transported them into this universe she had created, or that just exists in her magic house.
Yeah.
And where she is kind of the god of this universe, because she clearly is controlling some stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
In it.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know why maybe she doesn't know that the original universe still is out there or something. I don't know. No, because Lucy came from it. I don't know. I don't know what her motivations are for keeping them there now that she knows that other universe is out there.
Yeah.
But I think that this universe is a world within this house that she created or runs, and she transported them to save them from death.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
Maybe they're stuck in the moment when before their death, and if she lets them back, they'll die or something. I don't know.
But then also, why would Colonel Weird then kill what the robot? What's his name again? What's her name?
To keep them from finding out, because maybe if they leave, they'll die. I think.
But
maybe?
Why kill someone? You know what I mean? If they're saving them
to save the other ones, maybe? I don't know. This is it's a theory in progress, but I think it has something to do with the multiple worlds I think it's one of the worlds in the house.
I think that's definitely right. But yeah. I don't know. There's something weird about them killing. I feel like their first option would be to try and convince that they were correct to what's the name of the robot? Timey-wimey? What is it?
It was Talkie-Walkie.
Talkie-Walkie.
Because it's walkie-talkie, but backwards.
Yes. I feel like their first option...
Oh, God, I keep forgetting Talkie-Walkie.
I know. Did you see the final image, though?
Of this issue? Oh, God, you're right. Are they they're gonna bring Talkie-Walkie back to life?
I'm so fucking excited.
I didn't even process that. I saw that preview.
Yeah. But, okay, my next thing, I'm glad you're talking about Madame Dragonfly being a god and everything, because I have a question, Doug. Why does Abe's woman find it weird about the sheriff if she's under Dragonfly's control? If she's under Dragonfly's control, shouldn't she make that woman... Wouldn't she be able to make that woman be like, maybe that's it? What are you talking about, Abe?
Maybe she doesn't directly have control of everyone. Maybe she just asserts control of people, in specific instances.
Maybe she's
Like, maybe
not all
in
knowing.
control of everyone at all times.
Yeah.
She just she has asserted control of the sheriff because he was a problem.
And like because she's aware of Barbalian's thing, that's why she's able to control that priest right there.
Yes. Yeah. Which is that's so fucking sad.
It really is.
She's Mark Marks, the Barbalian. God, Jeff Lemire's fucking pun game is so good.
Oh, it's great.
He's in love with this priest who is denying him because he thinks it's wrong for him to have these impulses or whatever, or he says he doesn't feel anything for him or whatever. But Barbalian goes back to him, and the priest professes his love, and then it turns out he's being controlled. And that's so sad.
It really is.
That's so sad.
So, also, is this the first reveal?
For that.
Is this the first reveal that they've been in this for 10 years? Or have they've already said that,
I think
right?
I think they've said, I don't remember if they've specifically put a number on it, but I don't know. That doesn't sound like new information.
No, I think they would have made it.
The specific number might be, but I feel like the implication has been there, so that they've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, this book continues to be great. Love just every single bit of this issue specifically. I think last issue, like, it was kind of, a filler sort of esque issue. A lot of Lucy Weber going through different things, but this one, a lot of shit happened, and I'm so excited. And I love I love the relationship between Madame Dragonfly and Colonel Weird. I think it's more interesting one that Colonel Weird's more like,
yeah, he doesn't feel great about all this, but for whatever reason, whatever her reasoning is for doing all this, he has been won over by it.
Yeah.
He's on her side, which is interesting since he is the one character who can, like, see into the future and into all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So he theoretically has more information also and thinks that whatever she's doing is the right move.
Yeah.
But, and it seems like they're teasing that we're going to be getting some meaty, kind of answers in the next.
I think so, with Takiwaki and Colonel
issues
Weird.
At least. Yeah.
So, I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're going to reanimate Takiwaki and he's going to reveal that Colonel Weird killed him. Or her? Yeah. I think Takiwaki was a
girl.
Woman.
It's a woman. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Takiwaki is going to be like, maybe that'll be the cliffhanger at the end of the next issue that, like, they'll all find out Colonel Weird killed Takiwaki, and then they'll all be on the right path. Although, I'm betting we're going to get an issue off from the Lucy and Madame Dragonfly story. Next issue.
Maybe.
Which is frustrating, but that's my guess.
Yeah, I can understand that. I wouldn't be too bad. But, continues to be great. Excited. Let's move on to our panel of the week. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll start. It's kind of a random panel of the week, but I really, really like it for a very specific reason. Captain America, he has enhanced strength, but he's not anywhere near some of the stuff that a lot of other people in this universe can do, right? So, he's not an incredibly smart guy. He's not, like, good with magic. He's not, like, incredibly crazy super strength. But you know what his superpower is, Doug? His superpower is being, like, the absolute, like, greatest person in the world. And that's, like, specifically in this moment that I'm talking about in Avengers is a moment that really shows off that superpower. He has no question about, like, sacrificing himself for the group at all. I just love it. Like, I got a better idea. And how they pace it as well, I think is really, really cool. Like, I love got a better idea, throwing at Loki looking like, what are you doing? Seeing the stars. And then you get this, like, big splash, but this little square of the clink with it. I love the pacing of that moment of him throwing so just so everyone knows, Captain America is throwing his shield at these warp grenades, which are attuned to the sun, so that he can basically put this final host villain and Loki and himself, sacrificing himself, into the middle of the sun, thinking that it will solve all the problems. So I'm I just thought that was a really, really cool character moment for him, and just totally in character for him. And it's one of the things that makes me really love the team. I think that you need someone like that, right?
Yeah, Captain America serves a very specific kind of role on the team as its kind of moral compass, or at least Steve Rogers does. I think this was a really it just felt really true to the character that he doesn't even consider it. He just throws his shield at this and sacrifices himself. Theoretically, he doesn't die, but it's really cool. And also just like on a more, I mean, I definitely agree with you on the mortal / like character level, but also on a more kind of like nitty gritty powers level, like in addition to like his morality being his superpower, like he's also like the most like, he's not the strongest, but he's like the most agile and most like accurate. I don't know if accurate is the word I'm looking for, but like, you know, like
he's a scalpel.
He's the most like technically proficient of the group. Like he knows exactly what he's doing in a fight, and he knows exactly like how to use his abilities and his powers, like more so than really anyone else in the universe. And like his ability to like use his shield as like this pinpoint precision thing, I think is something that's like it's a cool moment.
Yeah. Okay. I can feel that too.
Cool use of his powers. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the pacing of the moment as well is really, really top notch. Like, you know exactly what's going on with little dialogue, and love that shit. Okay. But yeah, that's me. That's my,
I think this series continues to be, I don't know that it's like blowing me out of the water in the way that I was a really big fan of that first issue. And I think it's continued to be very fun. And that's kind of all it is, but like it's really fun. Like it's a fun book.
Yeah.
All the characters feel right. All the like the action is very big and epic, and and I like the particular lineup. Like I like their dynamics.
Yeah.
Excited to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cool.
What's set up yours? I'm reading it right now, so why don't you set it up?
So my panels of the week is a page from Batman number 49. This is the penultimate issue before Batman number 50, in which Batman and Catwoman are getting married, which I didn't know until recently. Apparently the hook is Batman and Catwoman are getting married. Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle are not. Which
what?
Which, like, I guess you can't do both. But you would think it would have been
the other way around.
But I guess that's the fun twist.
So wait, are they going to get married in their costumes?
I think so.
They have to.
They'd have to, yeah. Otherwise, they give it away.
That is so bizarre.
Because you can't do both, because otherwise people will immediately make the connection to who they are. But like, so, yeah, it's a fascinating move that they're doing it that way. But anyways, so this arc is a 2-part arc in which the Joker is lashing out because in the first issue was all about how the Joker is upset at Batman because he feels he wants to be Batman's best man. And Batman is not going to do that because he's the fucking Joker.
It's the Joker.
But the Joker is fucking crazy and like loves Batman, and thinks that they have this bond. So he feels upset that he's not his best man. So Joker kind of like took out Batman in that first issue, and this whole issue is Catwoman and Joker, and it's fascinating. This issue is a lot of, they have like fatally injured each other, and they're lying around talking to each other about their history. It's fascinating. My favorite page, however, my favorite sequence is just my favorite because it's hilarious in the way that Tom King is able to poke holes in stuff in the DC universe in a way that is just really clever, and like I've never thought about it that way. So the Joker asks, Catwoman asks the Joker, why does the Penguin have an umbrella? Is that a thing? And Joker responds, I always thought it went with the tuxedo. Penguins have tuxedos. And Catwoman says, so tuxedos and umbrellas? That's a thing? I don't get it. Joker says, like in the movie where the man dances with a tuxedo and an umbrella. No, that wasn't an umbrella. He had a cane. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
And Catwoman says, I'm pretty sure. And Joker says, yeah, well, then I don't know. And that's it. That they jump forward in time and they're talking about something else.
I think it's great. I love it.
It's like that sequence in Mr. Miracle where they're like, so if we're the fourth world, what's the third?
Yeah.
What
questioning things that are in the universe. Like, why?
Yeah.
Is that a Tom King thing does he do that a lot?
Yeah, he does, like, for little comedic beats like that. He likes to, like, look at stuff like that and go, like, wait, why is this a thing?
Yeah.
Like, it's a good point. I've never thought about that before. Like, why the fuck does the Penguin have, like, a thing about umbrellas? I don't know.
He just has an umbrella. Yeah.
He has, an umbrella that's sometimes it's like a weird helicopter thing, and sometimes it's like a gun, and...
You know, when he said the movie where the man dances with a tuxedo umbrella, I was thinking of maybe it's, what is it? Singing in the Rain, but he doesn't have a tuxedo on, it's just a suit, so...
No.
That wasn't it.
They're talking about, like, I don't know what... I have an image in my head. Anyways. I think they're referencing a specific movie where it's like a big musical number with tuxedos and canes, but I can picture it. Don't know what it is. But yeah, it's just, I just love it. And this issue is great. Like, it's all character work, and character work between two characters that, like, I don't know that I've ever really thought about, like Catwoman and the Joker and what their dynamic is. And this whole issue is just them lying around, talking to each other about their past. And, like, how the Joker feels about Catwoman, and how Catwoman feels about the Joker, and, like, why they do and don't get along.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. And lots of good, weird comedy in it as well.
Yeah. No, I really want to read this sometime. I know I really have to. I don't know why I didn't, like, read it right from the beginning, but...
Yeah.
I didn't.
The arc of this series has been fascinating as well, in that, like, it started off super tight continuity. Every arc led into the next arc, and it was this whole big story. And over time, Tom King kind of drops that for the better. Like, he's talked in interviews about how, like, he was like, I didn't know what I was doing when I started writing Batman. And that stuff is good. I liked it. But, like, he started writing this book in kind of more contained one-off arcs, in which, like, he'll do, like, this is a 2-part story, and, like, yes, it ties into Batman and Catwoman's wedding, but it's kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really have all that much to do with the plot points around it in the series. And it's just, like, a story that's about, like, the Joker and how he feels about Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah.
And like, it's this series has, like, it's always exciting to be like, oh, and what's the next story from Tom King and Batman going to be? Because it's always something super different from all the other ones. And, like, all of these would read really well in a trade by themselves if you hadn't read nothing around it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. But, yeah, so what do we got next week, Doug? Do you want to list it off?
Sure. Next week, we have, Detective Comics number 983, which, is the first issue of Brian Hill's new run on Detective Comics. So, I don't know if you're interested or not, but I'll be picking up at least the first issue to see what that is like. Mm-hmm. It's continuing the kind of trend of Detective Comics being the Batman team-based book.
Okay.
But with a different team.
Got it.
So that is interesting. We've also got the first issues of Multiple Man and Sentry. Okay. I'm so on picking up Multiple Man. I'm definitely going to be picking up Sentry.
You're going to get Sentry.
I'm definitely going to be getting Sentry, Jeff Lemire on that one. And then we've got the last issue of Kill or Be Killed and number 20.
Wow.
Which I think it's good timing. They've been kind of ramping up towards the climax here.
Okay.
And then we've also got next installments in Marvel 2-in-1 and Man of Steel and Venom. So that's all exciting.
Pumped. I'm excited. But yeah, I think that's gonna about do it. Yeah?
Okay. Cool.
Alright. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. We are still pretty new. So biggest thing you can do for us, if you like the show, and if you don't like the show, or if you don't like the show, is review and give us a star rating. Well, I guess if you don't like the show, don't review. Whatever. But if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse. We release episodes on Sundays. So check back next week, or you can subscribe to the podcast feed and never have to think about it at all.
At all. Don't even think about it. Don't think about the show while you're listening to it either. Just kind of let it wash over you.
I mean,
like a wave full of sharks.
Then they wouldn't get your boyish charm.
Wow. Well, no, they'll get it. Like they'll get the feeling of it. Just don't think about it.
I don't want to think about that. The feeling of your boyish charm at all.
I think the feeling of my boyish charm is. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Never mind.
Yeah.
You can do that on. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Google Play, Music, whichever podcast app you prefer. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered. You can also find archives of all our episodes on the web at comicscovered.libsyn.com.
Covered.
Libsyn. What?
I was continuing your joke.
All right, we've got you covered. Yep. And on YouTube or Facebook. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter, and maybe we'll feature you in a future episode. Thanks again for listening.
Oh, yes.
I'm Doug.
I don't have anything.
You are a void, an empty.
I'm the
emptiness.
void. I'm the void.
You're the Void. There's a character in Incredibles 2 named Void.
Oh, really? That's cool. A villain?
Watch the movie.
I'll watch the movie. Cool. I'm excited. Okay, and this has been Comics Covered.
I guess.
Cheerio.